Hello, my first graders. Today we are on page 315. It's our chapter 5 review. Okay, we're going to have our test coming up, so we want to review for a test. So if you're not on page 315, pause this video and find the page. All right, here we go. While we're working today, the other thing you might need is your number line if you have it. Okay, so if you don't have your number line, that's another thing you might want to pause and get that so you're ready when you come to it. All right, here we go. So if you're ready, hit the play. If not, then pause and get what you need. There are 2 dogs in the park. Some more dogs come. Now there are 9 in all. How many dogs come? Well, let's look through. We have 2 dogs in the park. Some more come. So that means we get more, but we don't know how many, right? Some more. Now there are 9 in all. How many dogs come? So let's think. If we have a missing number, and look at our chart here, right? If we know the biggest number, what do we do? What do we do? What kind of problem do we make if we know the biggest number? A minus problem. 9 minus 2 equals. So you're going to pause, solve our problem. Hit play when you're ready to check your work. All right, 9 minus 2. Did you get 7? Yeah. So you could have used your number line, you could have used your fingers, drawn circles, okay? So 9 minus 2 equals 7. So our missing number is 7. So remember, when you know the biggest number, you can make a minus problem. 9 minus 2, right? That's a lot easier to solve than 2 plus something equals 9, right? We turn it into a minus problem. Right, number 2. Which fact is a related fact? Look at the facts that they give us. 5 plus 3 equals 8. 3 plus 5 equals 8. 8 minus 5 equals 3. So first off, if it's a related fact, what 3 numbers are we using? Look at these problems. What 3 numbers do you see? We see a 5, a 3, and an 8. Look at this. We have 2 plus problems. What kind of problem would that be? I want you to think about it. Pause, see if you can figure out the answer. Hit play when you're ready to check. All right. If you're hitting play, that means you have an answer. We have 2 plus problems, and remember, for related facts, 2 plus and 2 minus. You should have picked this one right here. It can't be another plus problem. And if you look, that has 13 in it. That doesn't work, does it? There's 11. Not only is it plus, but it has an 11 in it. That doesn't work. And then look at this one, our 2 minus problems. This one, look at those numbers. There's not a 2, is there? Right? Look at our numbers. So this one's not right because it has a 2. We only can use a 5, a 3, and an 8. So the one that's left is this. 8 minus 3 equals 5. We start with the big number. We take a small number away. And it equals the other small number. All right. Number 3, look at the facts. Are they related facts? Choose yes or no. So look at these problems. Are they related? I want you to look through. See, are they using the same numbers? Pause. You decide before I tell you the answer. Okay, you should have an answer if you're hitting play. All right, let's look. 8 plus 6 is 14. We have an 8, a 6, and a 14. Look at this one. 14, 6, 8. Same numbers. So yes, they are related. If it had a different number in here, then they would not be related. Related means they're using the same numbers, just putting them in a different order to make a new fact. All right. You need to pause at any time. Go ahead. Tom sees 12 bees. Then 7 bees fly away. How many bees does he see now? Write a number sentence to solve. Then write an addition sentence to check. So let's take a look. Tom sees 12 bees. Then 7 bees fly away. So that means they're gone, right? How many bees does he see now? So what kind of problem is this? It tells us how many he sees, and then some fly away. Minus, right? We're losing some. So let's make our minus problem. 12. How many? Minus 7 equals. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to solve 12 minus 7, right? Either draw your circles, use your number line. Can't use fingers, too many. You're solving, and then I want you to write the related addition fact. Related, so take your numbers and turn it into a plus problem. All right, if you're hitting play, that means you have an answer. So if you did 12 minus 7, right, what did you get? What did you get? 5. Now that you have our numbers, we can make a related plus problem. There was 2 answers you could have had, okay? So if I want the first one that I write, if that's not the one you had, just wait a sec, because there's 2 different ways you could write a plus problem for this. So to make a related plus problem, we have to add the 2 small numbers. So you could have written 7 plus 5 equals 12, or you could have written 5 plus 7 equals 12. There was 2 right answers. So if you pick this one, you're right, or if you pick this one, you're right, because remember, you're just adding the 2 small numbers together to get the big number. Okay? All right, if you need to pause to fix anything, go ahead. We're going to look down here. Use the blue cubes and the red cubes to find the unknown number. Write the numbers. Okay, so this gives us a nice picture. So we could use the picture if we want to solve. 6 plus something equals 16. Or 16 minus 6 equals something. On here, right, we can match them up, can't we? 6 blue, right? And then we can see how many red. Or we can do the problem 16 minus 6, okay? It's going to be the same answer. So go ahead and pause. Fill in your answer. Hit play when you're ready. All right, if you're hitting play, that means you have an answer in. So 6 plus something equals 16, or 16 minus 6. Well, I went with 16 minus 6, and I got the answer 10. Or, so that also tells me if 16 minus 6 equals 10, 6 plus 10 equals 16. And I can check that because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 there. And then let me see how many red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 2 ways to try to look at my problem. I can either count, right? I can count and see how many blue and how many red. Or I could have even taken this and did a minus problem. There's 16 there. If I cross 6 off, that left me with 10. Okay, so either one works. Right? And we looked at this too, where sometimes it's easier to solve the problem if it goes straight through without the missing number. All right, number 6. Which is the unknown number in these related facts? Okay, This is a related fact problem. This number, remember, this number would be the same. It's the same missing number all the way through. Look through these problems. Which one is the easiest to solve? Does that look like a normal problem? Nope. That one? Nope. That one? Yes, 13 minus 4. There's no missing number, right? We just need to find the answer. You're going to solve this and figure out what is that missing number. Go ahead and pause. All right. So 13 minus 4. Maybe you drew a picture. Maybe you used your number line. All right, I'm just going to remind you how to use that number line. 13 minus 4. So here's 13, right? We take 4 hops back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where do we land? 9. So our missing number is 9. That's the same missing number all the way through because it's a related fact. So I'm going to fill in my 9 down here because the missing number all the way through is 9. Okay, let's look across the page. Joe has 7 blue marbles. A friend gives him 6 red marbles. How many marbles does Joe have now? Draw a picture to show your work. All right, so let's look at this. Joe has 7 blue marbles. A friend gives him 6 red marbles. So if he has 7 blue and then he gets 6 more marbles, what kind of problem is that? If he gets 6 more. It's a plus problem. So we need to write our plus problem, and then they want us to draw a picture. So we need to show our work. So you're going to make your plus problem, draw your picture, and find your answer. Okay, pause. Okay, if you're hitting play, that means you're ready to check your work. You've got your answer, you drew your picture, you have your problem. You should have made 7 plus 6 equals something, right? Then they want us to draw a picture. So we needed to make 7 and then 6. And maybe you made your picture across, which is fine. So as long as you have a pile of 7 and a pile of 6, okay, and then we count them all to see if we how many are all together. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 7 plus 6 is 13. How many marbles does Joe have? He has 13. Okay, if you need to pause to fix something, go ahead. Choose all the ways that make 12. So remember, when it says choose all the ways, that means there is more than one answer. Okay, anytime you see choose all the ways, more than one answer. We need to see which ones make 12. So that means we need to solve each one of these problems and see, does it equal 12? If it equals 12, we're going to fill in the circle. If it doesn't equal 12, we don't fill in the circle. So go ahead and pause so you can solve those. All right, if you're hitting play, that's because you solved all of these. You know which ones equal 12. All right, 8 plus 4. Does it equal 12? Yes, it does, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 plus 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So no, this does not equal 12, so I don't circle it. 5 plus 5 plus 2. Well, I can add I know my doubles fact. 5 plus 5 is 10. And then plus 2 more, 10, 11, 12. I also want to remind you that If you need to draw circles, you can. Remember, even when you take this on the computer, that's where you take, remember, a scrap piece of paper, and you can draw your circles on the scrap piece of paper so that you've got practice. So if I didn't know what 5 plus 5 plus 2 is, I could write my problem out, okay, especially these plus 3 ones that can be difficult. And then I can make my circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I can count them all together to see how many. Okay, I want to encourage you all to make sure you use that scrap paper when you take your test so that you can do your problems out and be sure you have the right answer. All right, number 9. Is the math sentence true? Choose yes or no. So that means you have to look at each one and decide if it is right. And again, this is where you want to use your scrap paper when you're working on the computer because it is hard to look at. So when I'm doing this on the computer, I would look at this. 7 plus 2. Maybe I want to write this whole problem down to help me. Because remember, I have to solve one side and then the other side. So maybe on my paper, I want to do 7 plus 2 equals 9 minus 2. And then solve. Well, what's 7 plus 2? 7, 8, 9. And then remember, I put my number in. And then I have to look at this side. 9 minus 2. Well, here's 9. I take 2 away. How many are left? 5, 6, 7. Are they equal? No. So guess what? I'd have to choose no. Okay. Now I know we have this paper in front of us, so if you want to fill it in right underneath, like we did before, you can do that too. Or if you want to practice on your scrap paper. But I want you to look at this one and this one. I want you to solve each side, okay, and then decide, is it equal? Is the one side the same as the other? All right, pause. Okay, if you're hitting play, that means you solved these and you know you filled in the answer. If not, take a minute and do it before you hit play. All right, 9 equals 6 plus 3. Well, I cover this side up. 9 by itself. I don't have to do anything, right? So then I look at this side. Well, what is 6 plus 3? 6 plus 3 is 9. Is 9 the same as 9? Yes. So I'm going to circle yes. This is the same. Then I'm going to do this side. Cover up the one side. 5 plus 4. Well, 5 plus 4 equals 9. So I write my 9 in. Then I cover up the other side. 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 equals 9. So I write that in. Now I compare. Is 9 the same as 9? Yes. So I fill in the answer yes. So again, when you're doing this on your computer, you will need that scrap paper so you can write things out. If you don't write your answers down, it is going to be hard for you to compare them. It's important to write your answers in so that when you are finished solving both sides, you can look at the answers to see if they are right. Okay, and if you don't want to rewrite the whole problem, at least you can write it in. So if I was looking at 5 plus 4, I could say, okay, 5 plus 4, I'd add it, I'd put my 9 in. And then I would look at the other side. 4 plus 5, I'd add it, I'd say, oh, that's 9. And then I can compare. Okay, so if you don't want to rewrite the whole thing when you're on the computer, that's okay. But you should at least be writing your answers down on your scrap paper so that you can see. Because sometimes when our problems get longer, we might forget what the one side equals. Okay, it's important for us to show our work. All right. Number 10. Anne has 14 white socks. Bill has 6 white socks. How many more white socks does Anne have than Bill? Write or draw to show your work. So let's look at that again. Anne has 14 white socks. Bill has 6 white socks. how many more white socks does Anne have than Bill? Are they asking us how many they have all together, or are they asking us to compare? They're asking us to compare, right? Anne versus Bill. So when we compare, we're finding the difference, and difference means subtraction. So we need to subtract. What number do we have to start with when we make our minus problem? The big number. I want you to make your minus problem. They want us to draw to show our work. So remember, if we're minusing, right, taking away, then we're crossing off. So pause. Work on this. Hit play when you're ready. All right, if you're hitting play, it's because you're ready to check your work. You have an answer in, you drew your picture, you're ready. So you should have had 14 minus 6 equals. Then you had a draw. So we made 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then we cross 6 off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we see how many's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 14 minus 6 equals 8. So blank more white socks, 8 more white socks. If you need to pause to fix anything, go ahead. One of the things you might want to do is just make sure that you started, if you had this wrong, make sure you started with 14. Sometimes when we're making a lot of circles, we can forget to put one of them in or make too many. All right. Alma has 5 crayons. Her dad gives her 7 more crayons. How many crayons does she have now? Use a related fact to check your answer. All right, so let's go back. Alma has 5 crayons. Her dad gives her 7 more crayons. How many crayons does she have now? Okay, so let's look at this. What kind of problem is this? She had 5, she gets 7 more. Plus problem. They don't give us a space for a plus problem, do they? No, so we have to write it in on the side. So if you were doing this on the computer, you would be using your scrap paper to do the first part. So let's do 5 plus 7. So we'll put 7 in our head, 5 on our fingers. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 plus 7 equals 12. So how many crayons does Alma have? She has 12 crayons. Okay, that's the first part because we had to figure out how many she had. Okay, this is a 2-part question, and you're going to have one of these on your test tomorrow. How many crayons does she have? Now that we have this, now we need to do a related fact to check. Okay, related fact to check. So take our problem that we made, turn it into a related minus problem. What number do we have to start with when we do a minus problem? The biggest number. So I start with 12. Take away something equals 5. So here's my 12 and here's my 5. What is my other number? 7. 12 minus 7 equals 5. That was our related fact. So boys and girls, when you're doing this, make sure you do the first problem first. You figure out how many somebody has first so you can get your answer in. Because remember, we need those 3 numbers first. We wouldn't go right down here to our minus because we don't have all our numbers yet. Okay, we needed to solve first and then get our answer so that we could use our 3 numbers to make a minus problem. All right. Julia buys 12 books. She gives 9 books away. How many books does she have left? So let's go back. Julia buys 12 books. She gives 9 books away. What kind of problem is that if she's giving them away? A minus problem. And look at this. Big number, small number. So we take our big number minus our small number. Go ahead and write your problem and fill in your answer. Okay. Pause. All right, if you're hitting play, you're ready to check your work. So we have 12 minus 9. 12 minus 9 equals 3. So she has 3 books left. All right, boys and girls. We are going to take our test soon, so make sure you are practicing. If you had trouble with any of these, you want to make sure that you ask a grown-up to give you maybe some new problems to try.